Good morning, my happy scrappy people. I am popping on for my weekly challenge hour live. My name is Ashley Rulig, in case you don't know me. And every week I just pop on here to go through a challenge with you. I post a weekly challenge in my Ashley Scrappy VIPs group, which is linked in the description of this live right now. And I will link it as well in my YouTube later when I go to upload this video. So go ahead and say hello if you are on. It is a rainy and cold day here in West Michigan, so I don't know where you're at, but I saw the UP, the Upper Peninsula, in case you're not familiar with that, is actually warmer than us today, and I'm like, what? So, but it happens. It's still May. I mean, it snowed at this point before in Michigan, so hopefully it doesn't this year. I'm sorry, I threw the S word around. But anyway, if you're on, go ahead and say hello. I just want to start with a couple of announcements. I have some events scheduled and wanted to get those on your calendar. So this is pretty much the last call for my amazing scrap summer camp. And I have been working all morning trying to get all the things printed, and I just finally got like my last shipment of like cardstock I needed yesterday, so I'm like, let's get things printed. So if you are in this and you're waiting on your goodie bag, it's coming, I promise. So but in case you're interested, last call for this, it is a virtual, so everything happens on a Facebook group event. It happens for 10 weeks this summer. It keeps you scrapping through the summer. And you get 30 challenges, so you get 3 a week. I'm not going to throw all 30 of them at you, immediately. That would be horrible. Some of you might work better that way. I have no idea. There are prizes. You'll get a goodie bag with, amazing scrap clues. If you've ever watched The Amazing Race, that's the vibe I'm going for. And it's so much fun, you guys. I love planning stuff like this. And there's tons of inspiration. I love that Facebook group, because we're all like a community. Even people that don't know each other will like talk to each other, be like, I love your page, how did you do this? So it's so much fun, and you make new friends, and you don't have to show up in person anywhere. You don't have to haul your stuff anywhere. And it's only $50, you guys, like for 10 weeks with that many challenges. There's prizes, there's grand prizes. It's so much fun, and I do it every summer. I just started a winter version this last winter, probably going to do that again. So, and every time I do a different theme. So last call, let me know. Saturday is the deadline to sign up for this, because I have to get all the stuff together. So your goodie bag has like class stuff in it. So there's a lot of planning that goes into this, and I love it. 2 other dates. The first one I talked about, Scrappy Camp. The next one, I'm doing a no frills crop in August. I know that's a ways away. I was trying to set up one in June. It's not gonna work. There are too many busy people. It will be a quick turnaround. So I'm aiming for August. July is just nuts on my calendar, so we're not doing July. But next year I want to work ahead and hopefully get a monthly crop going. But there's a no frills crop happening August 22 and 23 in Scottsville. And it's going to be like a Friday evening and like an all-day Saturday, almost all-day Saturday. Now for meals, since it's no frills, I'm going to plan a potluck lunch. So I'll just, once we get closer and whoever's interested, I will get info out there like, oh yeah, what kind of dish are you bringing? Whatever. That way we can all eat with it being cheap. And the cost is only $10. That's just to help me cover the venue and any other things I need to supply. And like any food I'm bringing. So we'll work all that out. And then save the date for September 19th and 20th. That's going to be my Croptoberfest crop. Cost for that will be $20, I believe. That could change. I am going to serve lunch at that one, so you don't have to worry about bringing a dish to pass. You will get, bonus stuff if you bring, various things. But I just wanted you guys to put those both on your calendar so you can plan on those. I'd love to have you at both of those things. So if you have questions, want to come, let me know, and I will get you on my radar for those. But we're going to get started on this challenge. Now, this is from a birthday party / backyard fun time my grandparents had last summer for my cousin. And it was so much fun just hanging out with the family I don't get to hang out with as much. My husband's family is like doing tons of stuff all the time, and I love it. But this side I see like, Thanksgiving and Christmas pretty much. So it was fun. I can't show you all the pictures. There are minors in here that I don't want to reveal. So you will see my final project later, and I'll just blur out some faces. So you're not going to see those pictures today. I just wanted to give you an idea what I'm working on, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I have some old birthday stuff I'm using up today. So these are collections from, oh my goodness, I want to say like 2020, 2021, somewhere in there. So not super old. It just feels like it was centuries ago, you know, 2020 and all that. So I'm just going to go through this. I have some scraps because obviously we're going to need some scraps for our squares here. I got my stickers, some embellishments. I'm going to set those aside for now. And we are going to get started. I want to get through this. It'll be pretty quick since I'm not doing the pictures live. I'm trying to stay in the light for you guys. It is so dark today because it is like pouring down right outside. And up in my little room here, there's one light and it's behind me. I do have one in front of me I could turn on, but it almost is too harsh. So if it gets too dark, comment that you need better lighting and I will turn that on. So, all right. So as I always say, look at your directions and work, you know, through the steps. That's how you'd not be overwhelmed by a page. So step 1, use a sheet of water Fast-to-Fab. And now when they refer to their pages, they're referring to their example here, obviously. So you're just going to plug and play pretty much what you're using. They used a piece of Fast-to-Fab inspired paper, which is, I'm actually using one as well. So it's like paper that's got pre-printed on it. This is also Fast-to-Fab, like it already has a border and you just plop your pictures on there and you use it. So this is a Fast-to-Fab inspired. It's kind of ironic that I'm using one as well, but it's cool because I can show you guys what that is. So there, this is a Fast-to-Fab paper. Behind them, it just looks like a designer paper to me, but apparently it was in part of a Fast-to-Fab inspired paper set. So you're going to cut a 3 by 9 1/4 strip of log cabin paper and adhere it at the top. So for that one, I was debating. I wasn't even sure what I was going to do. So I have all these scraps I need to use. I think I'm going to go with, I have to be careful because I need to have enough to go for each side. And I think I'm also going to reverse mine. So instead of putting it at the top, I'm going to put the bottom. And then the side piece I'm going to put here. Now in theirs, it's supposed to be a dock. Obviously, it doesn't have to be a dock. So it can just be strips of paper that fill your space. I think I'm going to use this green, however. I did debate doing a green and a purple, which maybe I'll still do. I don't know. I could do yellow as well, but I have an issue with green and yellow together. It's just totally sports. But whenever I put green and yellow together, I'm like, ugh, Packers. So I'm a Bears fan. And my husband's a Packers fan. We live in Michigan. Any other time I'm a Lions fan, go Lions. But yeah. All right. So I think I'm going to do green and purple or just green. I don't know. We're just going to roll with it and see. The other side's is striped. I wasn't feeling the stripes. All right. So I need a 3 by 9. So I'm just going to cut it to 3 to start, and then we'll figure out the 9 1/4. All right, so there's my 3-inch strip. Now for the 9 1/4, I probably could cut this way and figure out the math, but I don't think I have enough anyway on that side. So you're just gonna line this up. I love this trimmer. Over here at the 9 1/4. And I know a lot of the stuff I'm saying to you guys is like obvious, right? You're like, I'm smarter than this. You know what? I am gonna use purple. I think purple will look really nice with the green. All right. And then the next strip we need, it says adhere it. And the next one's only, even from the bottom, cut an 11. Ooh, it's big enough. It's a scrap. So, oh no, yeah, it's barely at 11. You know what, we're still gonna do it. It's fine. I think I was thinking doing this one for this one and this one for this one, but that's me in math, you know? There's always something on the video where I'm like, oops. But it's okay. So this is going to be 2.5 wide, which works out nicely because I have this circle I'd cut out. It looks like this was cut a little uneven. I must have taken scissors to it before. So I'm just going to cut it as best as I can. 2.5. And we'll take a look at it. It doesn't bother me very much right now, but maybe it will later. All right, so I'm going to get my trimmer for a second. I have a horrible habit of working on top of myself. So I keep piling stuff on top of each other while I'm working, and I'm to the point where I have my page going and then I put my trimmer on top and I put something else on top, and it's ridiculous, but it's all good. All right. So Yeah, it must just layer, because I'm guessing it layers, so it didn't matter if it was an 11 or not. All right, so tape runner. I'm just gonna kind of make an L shaped, because I don't need like a dock shaped really. I think I'm just gonna do an L. So, trying to see, why did they have that be 11? One strand up on the right. Oh, I bet it's the other way around. That's probably why. It's just so interesting. I read that so different. Huh. I think I like it like this though. You can play with it and decide what you like. It's a pretty basic layout, although I'm making it look super difficult because I just don't have a math brain. Ooh, look at that. Actually, that's really cool too. Maybe I want to use this side. Hold on a minute. Let's see. You know what? Maybe I'll go with that because it kind of brings out those balloons in a cool way. So I think I'm gonna do it. Yep, we're gonna do it. I'm just gonna roll with it. It's fine. I like the purple too, but then I can use like some purple for my squares because I have to use up that stuff anyway. Go about 1.5 inches in, I think. It probably tells me, but I'm an eyeballer. I like to look at things and say, oh, that looks good. You can tell it's cut crooked, but it doesn't bother me. Not much bothers me. If you know me and you watch my videos, you're like, oh, it's so crooked. I'm like, hey, it's fine. I could be the lazy scrapbooker for sure. Okay. So I'm just going to layer this on top because I just want that L kind of shape. It's just to add a little more to my page. I'm not trying to create anything out of it. It's just how it is. So, all right. So step 1, I believe, is done. Using the square punch. So I do not have the square punch. That is one I didn't invest in. However, some days I'm like, oh, I wish I had the square punch. I just have the sizes of what the square punch is, so I'm going to trim those on my trimmer. But if you have the square punch, this would be a great time to use it because then you don't have to waste all the time on your trimmer. You can just punch, punch, punch. So, using the square punch, punch 3 squares with plaid paper. So they're talking about those. Using one will be reversed. So yeah, there's only 2 you can see, but one's turned around. And 2 squares of Lures paper. So you can get as random as you want with this. You can be kind of patterned like they are. You can mix and match. I'm just going to see what I have and just, you know, cut out some squares. So if you don't have the punch, it's 1.75 by 1.75. So 1 3/4 is the size of the squares you want. So like it said, I wanted to use some of this purple. Actually, let me see what I got for scraps first. Take a moment. Oh, look at that. I have some purple. Okay. And some yellow. I know I'm going to matte my one photo on the yellow, but it'd still be fun. Oh, see, green and yellow, you guys. It's okay. I'll get over it. I obviously have to use green and yellow together sometimes, so it's not a big deal. If you're a Bears fan, holler in the comments. If you're a Packers fan, you might want to stay quiet. I'm just kidding. You can tell me. I like football in general, so it's okay. As long as you're not playing my Bears or my Lions, I'll root for them. It's, you know, it's the NFC North. All right, so I'm going to take these. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 if you don't want to do the spots with something else, although I don't know if one would fit there. So you need 5 squares pretty much, and then we'll do a title or something in the one spot. So 1 3/4 inch squares. I might be able to get a bunch out of this one. I don't know if I need a bunch though. And this is a good way to use up scraps. So you can go through whatever scraps you have. Oops. Let me go to that next line. There we go. And see like what can work. These are both the right size. And just cut them down, or make sure they're at least this size and then cut them down to like the size you need. So this is a great way to use up scraps with these little squares. I am making more scraps obviously, but at least they're smaller scraps, right? Then you can decide if you want to keep your smaller scraps. I know some people have a threshold. They're like, yeah, I don't keep a scrap that's, you know, smaller than this. And if you have a scrap threshold, tell me in the comments. I know I've asked that question before, but I think it's helpful for each other to know, like, what size scrap would you tend to save? Because I know people that save like itty bitty ones, and I can't do that. That would drive me crazy. And I know people that just save like up to a certain amount. So Oh yeah, I want to use the yellow as well. Oh, that's fun too. Okay, this is like from a really old birthday pack from like old CM. So if you don't recognize it, that could be why. All right, I can only have room for one of those. All right, so I think I'm happy with what I have here. See, I put the wider one on this side, and really it should be. You know, I could still do this though. Mine's just gonna look a little different, and that's fine. It's fine if it looks different than the example, y'all. This is merely to inspire you, so. That's cute. I actually kind of like that. I kind of wish I would have scooted it over more because I gotta fit my pictures on there. I can flip my pictures around. So I know I have a long picture. And the other ones are gonna be like, oh, what are the sizes? 3.5 by 3.5. And I'm gonna have another long one. Yeah, I might move that. And I might regret it, but we'll see. You might see me rip paper today. We will see. Not on purpose, too. So this is a handy dandy multi-purpose tool. I get to show you the multi-purpose tool. If you don't have one of these in your stash, get one because they are incredible. One, they're great for like placing stickers because there's this little point. So when I have this tiny little alphabet sticker, I just like hold it and then I use my point to push it down because my fingers are so big and cumbersome. So the other great thing it's for is for peeling up pieces you didn't mean to stick down. So I'm going to try using that. It will usually not rip your paper if you use one of these. Especially if you have to do it the day of though. Like I can't, disclaimer, if you try to peel something up days after you put it on there, it probably won't work. It's probably going to rip your paper. But if you do it, you know, fairly soon after you place it, I just am deciding to go a different direction with this layout. So I used to worry on lives when I would do a boo-boo or, you know, mess up, and which you guys know happens all the time for me. I'd be like, oh man, they're not going to think I'm professional. Oh geez, like this is bad. And now I'm realizing it's a teaching moment. And I'm telling myself that it's a new like soundtrack I'm playing. I don't know if any of you have read Johnny Cuff, his book soundtracks, but he's like, change your soundtrack. That's what gains success. And so I'm saying, you know what, this is an opportunity to teach them about the multi-purpose tool, and it works like a charm. Look at that. You can't even tell I had anything stuck there. So if you don't have this, get it. It's amazing. It's usually in gray, blue. This is a special edition teal one. Always up there in my little caddy. I do not go anywhere without it. So I highly, highly recommend it. If you have no other tool, please have that one. Okay. So now I'm gonna try this again. And then we're gonna work a title in. In fact, I might want my title closer to the top. So I might swap these around a little bit. I think I want my title kind of right here. Yeah, you definitely couldn't fit another square in there. So that's going to be for a title. All right, so I'm going to use my tape runner and put those down. My other suggestion when you're working with smaller pieces like this, there aren't many of them on this layout, so it's not so bad. But when you're doing like really detailed, tedious mosaics, excuse me, or like you have to use all these little pieces to put your page together, use a repositional tape runner, because if I say I put this one down, it comes out in little dots, but say I put it down, I'm like, oh, no, I don't like that there. It comes right up. So, and anything it leaves, it rubs right off. So I love this one for that reason. Again, it works best the day of. I wouldn't try to pull anything apart a week later because I have tried that and it has ripped my paper. So, but for repositional tape runner, I use this for tedious little borders. They have like really tiny little pieces or like really tedious skinny spots on the border, and it only sticks to the part of the border. So it's really nice. It's hard to explain unless I did it. I've done it in previous lives, in previous videos, so please go check those out because this is a handy little tool as well. I love it for doing small pieces like this, or just when I'm like unsure of like how this is gonna go, like I am right now. So this one I would have been comfortable enough to use my normal tape runner because they're just squares. It's not like they have to fit together a certain way to make the whole page work. But I just wanted to point out this is a great tool as well. Okay, so look at that. We're almost already done with this. And another thing, I have too many photos for this and I have 4 photos, so I didn't need this mat part. But there are some CM papers that have these cool cut apart mats. And I was looking at these, oh my gosh, these are so cute. And so I was like, oh, maybe I can get rid of a picture, but I'm not going to do that. But it would have been fun to cut out this party time or happy birthday and use that like right here. So there are quite a few papers now that have these cut apart mats that I love. And what I love about these is if you don't like any of the mats, then you can just use the other side. So this one I obviously cut around a little bit to get some red because I had so the other ones had different ones on them. It must have been a heart of some sort. So I like those. You could replace a photo here with that. Obviously that's what they did in this example. And anytime really mats are great for replacing where photos should go. So if you're looking at a sketch, you're like, oh, I only have 2 photos. Like I can't make this work. You can just use a mat or something in its place. The sketch is merely there for inspiration, right? So definitely consider mats if you feel overwhelmed by the amount of photos that are sitting on the sketch and you're like, I don't have enough. So, talking too much. There it is. All right, so I'm going to put a title right here. Obviously, I'm not showing you my photos, so I'm not going to put those on, which it feels weird because I'm like, what do I do next? Next is the photos, so I'm not going to do those. So, we're going to put our title here. I have a lot of cute options. I don't need a border. Those are really cute, though. So, B-Day Bash, that's really fun. I could layer it up with one of these or, one of these. There's a lot of fun options on here, actually. This collection was, what was it called? Party Time. This is the Brights. They also obviously had Fast Fab inspired paper. So, Party Time Bright from 2021. The date's usually on there, so if you don't know, look on your cover sheet. All right. Let's see. It always takes me a minute, so I appreciate you coming along and the embellishing journey with me because that's always an indecisive time for me. So I usually do this off camera because I just know people are like, oh my goodness, woman, just make a choice. So maybe you don't. Maybe I'm totally just putting thoughts in your head, but you can tell this is COVID times because there's, it's my birthday. Remember the drive-by parties people would do? The birthday parade. Oh my gosh, yes, this was totally COVID times. Sets. It's funny how we just know by looking at the stickers what time this came out. I don't know if I'll ever use the birthday parade van, but we'll see, maybe. If you need a birthday parade van, let me know. I can probably cut it out and mail it to you. Wow. How funny would that be? All right. I like this birthday bash because it will stick out on here. So usually what I do is I take this. I have my silicone mat usually, but it's packed away because I had a crop last weekend. But I want to layer it as well with some things. And this little washi tape looking sticker, obviously I'm going to go with a dark blue probably. I like that. So I think I'm going to layer that kind of offsets so it looks naturally crooked, right? Because I can't do anything straight, so I just make it look like it was supposed to be crooked. And then I can add, oh, look at the little confettis. Oh my gosh, those are so cute. I'm going to add some of those because why not? This is called an embellishment cluster and they are really fun to make. I don't always make the best embellishment clusters and I'm like, I don't know what to do. But this one worked out pretty well. So you just get a bunch of stickers together or embellishments and you layer them so they look really cool. There's no wrong way to scrapbook. That's what I tell people. So, all right. The only other thing I really need to do for this page, you guys, is to mat my photos. I'm only going to mat the bigger photos, this one and maybe this one. I'm a very visual person, so it kills me that I can't see those on here right now. So I will post my finished product so you can see it with blurred out faces, like I said. And I don't really want to embellish either until my photos are on there. I could add a couple little things in the squares, I suppose. Let's see. The gifts are fun. Those are a lot of fun, actually. Those little balloons. Oh my gosh, I love them. Those are cute. This, my cousin was turning 18, I believe. So I don't know if that's fitting for an 18-year-old, but my daughter would love them. So maybe I'll save those for one of her parties or something. But whenever I don't know where to embellish, I kind of look at the example. I'm like, oh, they kind of did this random square here. So that's a good guide. Like I said, I don't really want to add too much until my photos are on there, but I can at least do a square here. So I might do the presents, a couple of presents maybe. I don't know, those stinking dogs are so cute, the balloon animals. You know what? We're gonna do a balloon animal. I bet she'd like it. That's too cute. We gotta do it. And I'm gonna put like a little heart with it. Probably not red, obviously. Maybe a yellow heart with it. Now I got the Viking colors going on. I kind of liked it to sit outside of the box a little bit so it looks like it has more dimension. Kind of like that, like not so centered. I like that too. I could add a little more confetti. Confetti's fun, okay? Like there is a confetti punch. I think you can still get it. I can punch out some confetti and put it on here. Another little piece of confetti just to round it all out. Oops. This is where the multi-purpose tool comes in handy. Because I have like this little tiny sticker and my finger is so big. So I'm like, where do I want it? I want it like right about there. So there we go. And that one wasn't so bad, but there's even smaller stickers. Sometimes I need this little point for. And then another hot tip, when you're putting together your CM books, this part right here is approximately the size or the thickness that your book should be. Shouldn't be any thicker, right? So it can be thinner, but it shouldn't be any thicker than this. I have pushed that envelope many times probably, and my books don't sit as flat as they should and are really shaky. But this is another helpful part of this tool, is this is actually how wide your book should be based on this grippy silicone part, right? So if you knew that, awesome. If you didn't, tell me in the comments. I want to know who didn't know that, because I want to be helpful, right? So all right, I think I've gone as far as I can with layout, and I feel kind of like, oh, that was weird to do a live for. But I will post the finished product and show you guys what else I do with it. So today was short and sweet. The last couple weeks have been like that, so hopefully that's okay. But yeah, show me what you got. Remember to post your finished page, like a picture of it, in my Ashley Scrappy VIP group. So you might be watching this from there. Otherwise, if you're on my Ashley Rulig Creative Memories Advisor, you're on my page. That's not on here. So my contests only happen really in my group. So that's linked in the description. Request to join it. I will vet you for sure. I will make sure you're legit, because that's supposed to be a safe place for my people. So yeah, post that in there by, what day is it? Wednesday? Thursday night at 11:59 in the comments of the challenge post in the featured section. You can find that. And you might win a prize from me. So, pretty fun. If you're on my YouTube channel, thank you. Please like and subscribe, because Facebook Lives they go away after 30 days now. So, if you want to watch all my past stuff, that's where to do it. And I have done a lot of layouts and given a lot of tips on there. So, you'll want to follow that. And yeah, I would love to see you guys in my group sharing your pictures and your pages. So, I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know if you want to join in on any of those events I shared earlier, or if you have any questions. So I'm always here if you need anything. So thank you so much for your support, guys. I hope you have a great day. Stay warm if you're in West Michigan, and stay dry. So have a great one, guys. Thanks so much.